Hello Dream Family, I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. This is another Tea Time Talks video on that series. I think we're going to be revamping that. It's just going to be a little bit more personable. You and I can share a cup of tea together. Sometimes it will be live and sometimes it will be a video just like this where you can watch anytime of the day or the night. So I do have my tea here. I do have a black tea, like toasted coconut kind of tea, and it is so delicious. It is incredible, and I will show you exactly what brand it is right here. So feel free to get your tea. If you don't drink tea, your cup of coffee or your water or your juice, whatever sounds great to you. We're gonna taste this. It's been steeping for a little bit and we're gonna give it a try. It has like this really like refreshing light coconut flavor to it, and it is just so good. And if you guys have any specific teas that you love, definitely leave them down below, and I would love to try out the teas that you guys like to drink as well. And anytime I have a tea in one of these videos, I will try to plug the brand where you guys can see it so you can try out some of my favorite teas too. This video is something that I have dealt with a lot, and I'm sure that you may have been familiar with this as well. It doesn't have to be like in business, it could be personal life. Maybe you are really desiring like a relationship, or you really desire to move somewhere, or you really just desire some sort of like change in life. But then eventually we give up on it, you know, or we just feel like it's not meant for us, or we can't tell if it's something that we should go for or not. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about that because there's definitely a difference between desires and wants, and I think it's really good to kind of decipher them. So desires are something that you are meant to have. If you desire something, I truly believe that that means that it's meant for you. But if it's a want, I believe that that kind of comes from our ego, which basically just means it has no substance to it, right? There's no big reason why that would change our lives, or it's kind of just like in the moment kind of want. It's something that you may want for, you know, a few days to a month, but then eventually you don't even care about anymore. Like you just kind of forget about it. That is a want. But if you're desiring something and you notice that that desire never really goes away, and you keep thinking about it even though you try to forget about it, then that probably means that it's meant for you. Now, this could be with a move, this could be with a relationship, this could be regarding something in business. Maybe you really want to start, you know, making your painting into a business or something. Again, this could be for anything, but really tune into, is this a want or is this a desire? Because wants eventually will be easy to forget about, but a desire is something that just like keeps pushing. For example, last year I really wanted to get into this course, and it was like an alignment course about like basically a business energetic alignment course, how to align with like your soulmate clients and financial abundance, and just align with your mission kind of in business. So it was like a whole thing, and I tried to forget about it, and the date was approaching where I like had to sign up or else I was gonna miss it. But it was something that was like super out of the budget for me, and it was kind of scary, and this was something that the due date for me to get in was the day right before rent was due, and this course was like the price of it was as much money as I had in my account, and rent was due the very next day. So I was even short on rent, and rent was a day away, but I had to get in this course if I wanted to. And I really tuned into this. Like, I knew that it was meant for me because I couldn't forget about it. And our soul knows a lot more than our conscious mind does. Because our conscious mind, our ego, can kind of only see like what's happening in the moment, right? What's happening right in front of us. But since time doesn't really exist, our soul has experienced everything from our past and our future, even though it's like all within the same moment, technically, if that makes sense. So I knew that this was meant for me because maybe in another reality I already took the course, because again, time is non-linear. And I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I knew that I was meant to take this course. But rent was obviously due the next day, and I didn't even have enough money for rent yet. But I knew that if this was a desire, I had to trust. And that is sometimes the hardest thing to do. When you desire something, you have to jump in and you have to trust. And as I look at the clock, it's 4:44 right now. So that's hilarious. But I knew, okay, if I am choosing to trust and I'm following my desire of something that I know that I'm meant to do, then I know that I'm going to be taken care of no matter what. And again, like, a want is something that stems from the ego. So, oh, I want this because it will make me look cool, or because I think I should have this, or, you know, like, but a desire is like, I could do so much with this. I could become so much with this. I could change so many lives with this, right? And so even though like my bank account didn't really reflect that I had enough for the course, I decided to trust, which was so scary. I felt my stomach drop. I was like anxious. I felt my heart racing, but I knew that was the barrier of fear. Now, of course, be smart and use your intuition, but I felt in my body that it was time for me to trust, because I always let fear kind of be the barrier where I stopped going for something. And I knew that if I went first, then the universe would rise to meet me. And a lot of us kind of wait on the universe, right? Like, okay, I'll do this or I'll become this when this happens or when this happens. But that means in every single moment we're always waiting. So what are we attracting? A reality of always waiting. Isn't that funny how that works? So in order to change your reality and like make big moves in your life, you have to be willing to go first, because then you're in the energy of going first. You're in the reality of going first. You're not in the reality of always waiting, because if you're always waiting for something, you will always remain waiting, because the perfect time is never going to come. You have to create the perfect time. And I know that it can feel so scary, especially when your ego's freaking out because your ego can't predict the next moment. That's what scares the ego, is like the unknown. So that's why a lot of us will, if we're trying to create a new habit, the ego tries to pull us back because it can't predict the next moment, because we're stepping out of what we're used to. So that's how you know you got to keep going, is if you feel that discomfort because you are changing your life. Your ego doesn't like change, but your soul is meant to change and evolve. And for me to change and evolve and step into a new level of me, I had to go first. And so it was so scary. I was like, I know rent's due the next day. The price of this course is literally all I have in my account. I don't know how rent is going to show up. I don't know how, but I know that I have to trust. I know that my mind cannot, like my conscious, the 5% of my conscious brain, like my ego, cannot predict the next moment, but that doesn't mean that it's already figured itself out. Like, I don't need to know the how. I just need to take aligned action for something that's meant for me. So as scary as it was, I enrolled and I got excited all of a sudden. I still felt a little bit nervous, but I felt excitement. It wasn't dread. It was like my soul was lit up, and that's kind of how you know that something's meant for you. You got to pay attention to your body. So many of us try to pay attention to our head, like our mind, and your mind is never going to lead you in the right place, because this conscious mind is like made up of all the things that you've experienced in the past. Your ego, your brain is going to try to remember all of the times that something went wrong. It's going to try to give you so many reasons of why it won't work out. But that is such a limited thinking. We need to feel what's in our body. That's going to guide us. That's going to guide us. Our intuition and the way that our physical body is feeling. And I felt lit up. I was a little bit nervous, of course, because I couldn't predict the next moment. So my ego was like freaking out a little bit. But but I felt proud of myself because I went first, you know, and I didn't have to know how something was going to work out. I just decided to trust. And this was like the biggest lesson, by the way, of trusting because of the circumstances. It was actually terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. I enrolled and I was super sure that like this was going to help me with my alignment. It was going to help me trust more. It was going to help me scale my business more so I can help more people and reach more people and then help them create businesses that they love, that their clients love. And I just wanted to create this ripple effect of just like inspiring people because I acted from a place of inspiration and trust. So it came from a good place, and that's how you know it's a desire, not just a want. It's not something that my ego needed to feel superior. It was like a desire that came from my core. So I trusted, and guess what freaking happened? Guess what? Guess what? 2 hours later, 2 hours later, 2 hours later, after enrolling in that course, every single dime of rent showed up. Magic, 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 magic. It was like the universe was almost like congratulating me for going first, because usually we always stop where fear wants us to. And I did that for so long. And I was so sick of doing that because it got me to the same spot like every time. I truly desired to experience something different. And so I decided to do something different, right? 2 hours later, all of rent showed up. That's when I realized, oh my God, magic is real. Trusting is the key, and listening to our body and taking aligned action. Like, and it's like when something's meant for you, it is meant for you, right? Like, even though I couldn't see how it was gonna work out because of the circumstances, like I couldn't see it. Oh, but did it work out? Because it was meant for me. My soul already knew that I was meant to get that course, right? And because I followed my true burning desire to make it work, and I trusted and I had full faith that it would work out, and it came from a true, like, authentic place, like a true desire. It was like I was rewarded for going first. And so this is what I wanted to tell you, is that like, if you truly desire something, and again, it's good to decipher a desire from a want, because those are two different, they're from two different energies. But if you desire something, it is meant for you. It is a direct call to action from source that it is meant for you, and it's time for you to go first and take the first step. Like, a desire is not even your desire. It's something that was already planned to come through you, right? And a desire is a direct call to action, to go after it. Because think about it, we are all just reflections of the universe experiencing itself. There is no separateness. There is only oneness. And so part of the universe's like mission, or part of this whole experience, is for us to create and bring things to life. And there was a really interesting story actually about this guy that was working on a song, and it was like this really cool, like electronic, really cool song, and he was working on it for months, and he showed it to some of his friends, and they were like, oh my God, this is so good, like it's ready, you need to like bring this to the world. And he's like, no, it's not ready yet, you know, even though it sounded like perfect. And a couple months go by, and he shows another friend, just like, yeah, I've been working on this song, like, what do you think, dude? He's like, oh my God, this is like nothing I've ever heard. This is beautiful. Is it done yet? Like, it sounds perfect. I think you should just put it out, you know? And he kept like waiting on it. He kept like sitting on it. And he's like, no, it's not ready yet. Then, a few weeks later, he's in the car with his friend. Guess what? they turn on the radio. This is a true story. They turn on the radio and he hears almost the exact song that he was working on from another artist. Almost the exact song. He's like, what the hell? This is my song. Even though he had the idea first, he sat on the desire. And so it went through somebody else. So all desires are from the divine, from the universe, and they are meant to be fulfilled, right? The information that needs to come to the collective will find a way to come through, whether it's from you or somebody else. But if you get the desire, it's because it is meant to happen. And we can't sit on our desires, because then the universe will just bring it to someone else. Like if you have a beautiful book idea and you're like, wow, I know this is meant to reach the collective. I know this is going to help so many people. I know that this is going to change so many lives, right? Like a true desire, call to action to create the book. If you feel that, but then you sit on that, that idea was never yours. It's meant to come through you. It's meant to be created in some way. If you sit on that, it's going to go to someone else, and don't be surprised when another book comes out that was extremely similar to your exact idea. And this has happened to me too, a few times. And so I've learned that when I feel a desire in my body and I can't stop thinking about it, it is a direct call to action from the universe to create. And if I sit on that, if I wait, it's going to find a way to come through anyways, because this is just the universe working its magic through us. Right? Think about all the abundance you can receive. It usually comes through other people, right? Even though source, the divine, the universe is the root of abundance. That is abundance. It has to work its way through other people. Usually like cash doesn't just like fall out of the sky, right? That'd be nice. But people are attached to your manifestations, right? So that's why we're meant to create. We're meant to bring the universe's ideas and things that are meant to be in this experience. We're meant to bring them to life. So we don't come up with ideas. We tap into them. They're already there. We tap into ideas that were already there. They are not ours. So if you get a beautiful, brilliant idea you haven't heard of before, or you have a desire that you're really passionate about, don't sit on it. Don't wait. Take aligned action, and I promise you will be rewarded for your efforts and for going first. And don't let fear stop you, because fear will always stop you, like right before you get to that beautiful potential. On the other side of fear is where true abundance and potential lies. But because your ego can't predict the next moment when you step out of like the known and you do something new, it tries to create these thoughts like, oh, you don't know what's gonna happen, this isn't meant for you, even though those thoughts are not you. The thoughts that your brain thinks, not even you, not you at all. But what you feel here, you're an energetic being. What you energetically feel, what you spiritually feel, what you emotionally feel, that is you. That's going to be your compass in life. So never let these thoughts talk you out of anything, because it's not you. These emotions, what you're feeling, your true desires that don't go away, that's what you need to follow. And that's going to bring you to true abundance, to true love, to true health, to true wealth, to true motivation, inspiration, creativity, magic. That's going to be your compass to all of those things. So I want you to know that when you feel a desire, it is meant for you. It is meant for you. And it will find a way to come into this reality, whether it's for you or not, through you or not. It does come through you, and you get that idea and you're inspired and you feel lit up. Be so grateful that it chose to come through you, because the universe is giving you an opportunity not only to enhance your life, but others' lives through this beautiful creation. And again, we're just tapping into these ideas. And especially if other people bring this up to you, like something that I've been thinking about creating, you know, other people, the universe trying to speak to me through other people will come up to me. They'll say, hey, this would be really cool if you created this or this or this. That is a direct call to action, right? I got the feeling, I got the desire, but I sat on it. And so other people will come into my lives and they'll talk about it. And they'll be like, hey, you should create this. Oh, do you have this? Like, the universe is trying to remind me, hey, you're gonna create this? Because whether it's through you or not, it has to come through. And I promise you, you will see this time and time again. You will see this happen. So you don't have to fear. The universe will always take care of you. The abundance will show up right when it needs to. The resources will show up right when you need them to. Maybe not when you think they should come up, but when it's necessary. We have always been okay. Even when we thought we weren't going to be able to figure something out, right? Even when we were at our lowest point and we felt so scared, it worked out. We're here right now. Our hearts are beating right now. We're having this conversation together right now. And we're okay. We made it. We've always been okay. Even when our conscious mind doesn't perceive it that way, think about all the times you and I thought that we weren't going to make it, right? There was a situation that we'd never be able to get through. I've been there. I'm sure you have too, right? And look at us. We're okay. So just know you are always protected. You are always safe. Everything will always work out as it should. But if you're feeling called to do something, this is your sign. This video is your sign to act on it, because it's meant to come through you. It's coming to you to come through you. So remember that. Remember to decipher whether it's a desire or whether it's a want. A want is just something from the ego that really has no substance, that really wouldn't change your life too much, and that wouldn't really change other people's lives too much. But we're meant to serve, we're meant to inspire, we're meant to create, because all of humanity, we are just one consciousness, and we are meant to grow collectively, to inspire collectively, motivate collectively, create collectively. And this is just one of the ways that the universe is experiencing itself, is through us. And so if it comes to you, it's meant to work through you. Okay? You have a desire. It is a direct call to action to step fully into trust. And sometimes it might be hard. Sometimes we might be a little bit scared, right? All it takes is a little bit of openness. I am willing to see things differently. Just say that. I am willing to see things differently, and I am open to whatever I need to do or whatever you need to show me. I am willing. And if you step into that desire, if you go first and you break past fear, all you have to say is, okay, I went first and I did this, and now you need to rise up to meet me. And you're pretty much just talking to yourself, since everything is the same. You're really just calling another part of yourself to rise now. You were called to rise, so you did, and now you're calling the other part of yourself to rise, and that's when the abundance shows up. That's when the resources show up. That's when the people show up. Right when they need to. You will always be okay. It will always work out, but you need to follow that intuitive nudge to take that aligned action and to create, because we're creative beings. And fear is part of the game. Fear is there to see. Fear is there because the universe is trying to see if we're brave enough to see our limitless, to push past the illusion of fear. Fear is just false evidence appearing real. Our brain will try to convince us that it won't work out, or, oh, look at this evidence, this proves that it won't work out, or what about this and this and this? False evidence appearing real, because we're meant to rise up past the illusion of fear. And that's when we reach the abundance on the other side. Then it will be easier next time. And then you'll always step into trust, and you'll always step into faith, and you'll always choose love over fear. And that was the most valuable, that was the first lesson. The most valuable and the first lesson of going first and pushing past fear and stepping into trust. And it showed me what lies on the other side of trust, or on what lies on the other side of fear, when I trust and I take aligned action to the desire that is coming to me, because it's meant to work through me. Delicious. I love you guys so much. I hope you're enjoying your tea right now, if you have tea. I know I'm going to enjoy the rest of this cup of tea. I hope that this inspired you, and I hope it's something that you needed to hear. Because you're powerful, you're amazing, and you're meant to do amazing things. And this video is all about following that desire and trusting and stepping into faith. And I wanted to share with you one of my most valuable lessons on doing that, and hoping that it helps you as well. Looks like it's about to rain right now, which is such a vibe. That is absolutely perfect. I wouldn't have it any other way. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your beautiful day or night as well. Thank you for having tea with me and sharing this chat with me. It was great to hang out with you. I love you so much, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day or night today. And as always, I'm sending you endless love and endless lucidity. I'll see you for tea next time.